Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I understand that the defendant, Julian Frederick Firewives, is charged with a number of allegations, of which I have only brief details due to the shambolic nature of the prosecution's case. I have been summoned out of retirement by the court of San Francisco to defend this poor, wretched pensioner. I do so from my office overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge in traditional court dress, including wig. In no particular order, I deal with only the most serious allegations. Number 1. The defendant sported an offensive moustache. It is true that for a period spanning approximately 3 decades, the accused wore upon his top lip a strange furry slug. However, in so doing, the defendant was merely imitating the men whom he adored the most during this period. Luminaries such as Terry McDermott, Graham Souness, and Freddie Mercury. Indeed, the real crime in these hairy times would have been to go without such a moustache, and I therefore say the defendant is not guilty of this charge. Allegation number 2. Is the defendant tight? That rather depends, I submit, upon one's definition of tight. If one means being a little slow occasionally to get one's round in, and perhaps failing at all times to send one's son, who is travelling destitute around the world in faraway lands, any money whatsoever, then yes, the defendant is guilty of being tight. However, if a tight man is a man who funds his incredibly talented children through school and university, and often showers himself with lavish gifts, AC Cobras, BMW M3s, electric guitars, and holidays to far-flung places in Italy and Africa, then clearly the defendant is not tight and must therefore be acquitted of this charge. The third allegation is one of the most grave: flatulence, a dirty word and a filthy habit, but nonetheless a habit which many members of the jury present with you today are guilty of. Uncle Brian, Stephen Holcroft, Susan Holcroft. The list is practically endless. However, important, what distinguishes the defendant from these people is the quality of his files. By the time you hear this defence, the defendant will no doubt have drunk a little beer and eaten a little cheese.
Maybe if I sit.
Like a fine wine, look out for the hints of elderberry in his farts, the oaky undertones and nuances of Scotch egg. These aromas, ladies and gentlemen, are not offensive. Not something to be punished, but something to taste, something to savour, something to rejoice in. Leave this poor pensioner, I implore you, to fart his way into retirement, and acquit him of this charge. In conclusion, I respectfully ask you all to find that Julian Frederick Ives is guilty. Turn over. Yeah. Of nothing more than acting his age and living life to the full. You need him on that wall. Now where shall I send this?